I'm not going to say, wow, it's beautiful to have you here, because everybody did that. So let's keep that. Initially, I had a story, but thanks to Guy and Bob, you are not there, they steal it. So to be sure that we don't have another boring roadmap presentation, I decided to invite one of my friends, Stefan Vrabie, Customer Success Director in France. We will do this together. So the fourth revolution, we believe that it will be a convergence of many factors. It is about connected devices that companies are using to offer us a seamless user experience. And by that, they manage the way we buy, we consume, and discard their products. Then it's about the data. We know that we have it. The question is what we do with it. And even more, who has the moral authority to validate it? Because the principle is the same, no matter how Watsons do we have, crap in, crap out, right? Very blunt. Then humans are getting old. Look at me, you can see that. I'm still handsome, which is okay. Thank you. And then I start to wonder, who in the name of God will pay my pension? At least in Finland, we have this problem. Probably we are not the only one. So I don't know if the digital workforce is an answer. The time will answer that. Last week, we launched in Bucharest UiPath Immersion Lab. Stefan was there. He will tell you a bit about during this slot. And there, we had Varga, who happens to be our Chief Strategy Officer, and he made a statement, RPA is the new BPO, because this is what it happens. We are outsourcing the work to the digital workforce. And the last sexy thing on the slide, it's the AI. So even today, we are in April, we are in the summer of AI and robotics. Just thinking about technologies like deep learning that made AI available for the masses. Sir?
So digital transformation is a wonderful story, and I'd like to thank Søren from Energinet, because his journey and his story of how he has changed and how he has implemented is pretty much the story of the customer success team. So what we're doing in the customer success team at UiPath is we work with you, with the clients, to help you throughout this journey and to help you achieve the digital transformation. So all the steps that he has mentioned, from the first decision to the pilot, the proof of concept, should it be in the business side, should it be in the IT side? And we've seen both cases, and both can work very well. So all this is part of the ultimate goal of being successful with your RPA deployment and achieving the digital transformation. So this is pretty much what we do. Yep. As part of it, we explain and we present the roadmap, because working with you guys, working with the clients, we get a lot of feature requests. We get a lot of, we see a lot of problems in the field or things that we might not have thought of. So we take it back to the product team, and eventually they end up in the roadmap, and eventually they get implemented. So a lot of the features you're going to see here, some of them are already in the live preview versions, and some of them have been picked from the field by the customer success team.
So to enable this digital transformation, we built a platform. Some of you are familiar with this, some not. So for those who are new to this picture, this is a crash course about the three main components that we have in UiPath. Is the studio, which is a visual designer that allows you to digitize the processes. It's a workflow tool where you can define your sequence and steps of the automation. In the middle is the UiPath orchestrator. which is the neural center of the platform, and from there you can manage, control, and monitor your digital workforce. And last but not least, the main actors of this show, UiPath robots, which can work in attended or unattended mode or in hybrid, like it was mentioned before.
So why do we do it? What's our drive, our motivation? So we say that our vision is, and this is something that Daniel always says during his presentations, that the vision of UiPath is a robot for every person. Now, personally, I don't take it ad literam, so I don't take it literally. I think that giving every person the means of having some of his duties automated, giving them access to automation, regardless if you install a front office robot, a back office robot, a hybrid scenario, if you use the orchestrator REST API. So the actual way of doing it is probably less important and can depend on your environment. But the mission is to democratize automation and have the platform that's ready for this new automation-first era. So having companies that think about processes already with automation in mind. And I really like the observation of Søren from Energinet that you should not automate 100% of a process. You should probably aim towards 80%. And there's two big reasons for this. The first is, of course, you have a lot of exceptions, and you have a lot of difficult cases where a lot of human judgment is required. And while we invest a lot in AI, and we add new skills, which is one of the ways we are doing it. We add a lot of new skills and capabilities to the robots. If you aim for 100%, you're going to have a long development time. And then in the background, the second reason is people will lose the skill of doing the work in the first place. So you should still keep the competency within the company for those difficult exceptions. So basically, the three main areas of focus for us are open innovation, and this is the openness of UiPath and the platform and the community and the UiPath Go marketplace and everything that we have that Rasvan will tell you about. New skills that we add to the robot to get to this workforce, virtual workforce of robots doing work for us and with us.
So, to be able to build a platform, we have identified the main pillars which are driving us to add new features. So it's about having an open platform. Our community edition, it is free and it will be free. This year, I think in January, our community cloud reached 35,000 operational robots across 17,000 tenants. As you saw early, the community members, I think, are around 400K, right? And of course, the free online academy is getting new courses every now and then. Then it's about you being able to achieve rapid results because of our intuitive GUI tools that allows design and implementation. The path to AI, we will enable AI inside our platform, and we will be able to deliver reliable reliable results, human-like when it comes to capturing information from the screen. From scalability point of view, we have a proven and tested platform that allows both attended and unattended robots to work in tandem to streamline your processes. And the trust thing, we will continue to test our platform and the third-party code. We got high ranks, like Bobby mentioned, from government agencies, and we will continue to support comprehensive event logs and audit trails.
So let's take these 5 areas and look at the actual features in the roadmap that are going to come. Some of them are already in the live preview versions. So let's see what we have. Open platform. So extensible architecture, it means that now you're going to be able to do plugins for the studio. You already had the ability to create custom activities, custom activity packs, and now we're going to have a plugin system for the studio so you can augment the capabilities of the studio. We're also going to release a robot API, which again is going to enable you to better connect and work with the front office robot so you can directly control the robot via other scripts or automations or integrate it with BPMs and so on and so forth. So as we have the orchestrator API, we're adding always additional native activities as part of UiPath Go and directly into the package. So now we've done G Suite, we have an integration with Google Suite, we have Lotus Notes support, which we haven't had thus far, and you'd be surprised that there are still clients who use Lotus Notes, so now we've... I know, I was very surprised as well. They kept asking, what do you have for Lotus Notes? Lotus Notes, it still exists. So, and then we also have a lot of other strategic partners and integrations that we're adding again in Go. And UiPath Go in itself, we're going to add some gamification capabilities to reward people that are contributing and they're sharing components, machine learning models, workflows, custom activity packs, etc. We're going to launch a My Go service. So the My Go service is you being able to install your own Go within your organization. So at first, we're going to launch it as a cloud-based solution, but then also as an on-prem. So then you can collaborate and you can work within your companies with different countries, different departments to share components, share workflows, share best practices. And of course, we've also localized Go, so it's available in several languages, and we're going to keep adding languages. And for the community and academy, we have the Connect. So UiPath Connect, connect.uipath.com, is, if you will, a space where you can really interact with people working in the RPA domain. So you'll have developers, business analysts, RPA Center of Excellence leaders, your peers, your colleagues from around the globe, from all companies. So we're trying to create a space where you can connect. And of course, we're also going to launch RPA Navigator, which will allow you to investigate and to analyze the processes and the people within your company and help you find good, eligible automation projects.
Yes. Sorry. Yeah. Talking about the rapid results, we'll try to make developers' life a bit easy by adding integration with GitHub, which probably is the most popular source control. We will enhance our debugging capabilities. So, for instance, you will be able to debug library components and certain parts of the workflow. And also to improve the automation, we will deliver a new expression editor, so the automation is less prone to errors. Studio X has been mentioned earlier. It will be a lighter version of the actual UiPath Studio. We will deliver a simpler user experience with wizards and simpler defaults to remove some complexity. So each and every business user will be able to build their automation, so they will not need any programming background. We know that most of our clients are scaling up, and for that, later this year, we will launch a cloud service, which was mentioned earlier by Guy, right? Okay. And the orchestrator will be hosted by us, and the clients will just sign up for the RPA service, and you will be able to deploy your bots in a matter of minutes. In connection with what I mentioned earlier about the data, we will build a reporting platform this year, hopefully. So you will be able to extract data from logs so you can provide insights to the business. And also you will be able to ingest data from other business applications that you may have. For this year, we will use Druid to build it. And of course, we will continue to explore SQL 2019 capabilities. And we saw on the market that certain cases are more frequently automated than others. So we will build specific solutions so you can have a rapid start and you can implement those quickly and you can tune them as required. And we will start with contact centers and insurance.
Path to AI. So AI is the buzzword. Everyone is interested in AI now. I think today, if you say RPA, you're not really taken seriously anymore. Everyone is interested in AI. Like Razvan said, we've launched our immersion labs in Bucharest, and I'd like to kindly invite you to visit us at our headquarters in Bucharest. There, if you want to visit the lab, we have about 26 AI use cases, demos, showcases. They're not just videos. You'll see them running live, and you'll see a lot of interesting things that will come. And the way we do it is for the robots. So for the robots to be able to understand, to work better, and to mimic the human ability of taking decisions and doing things. So I think AI, the definition of AI is anything that you don't really understand how it works. It seems a bit like magic, and the robots are able to think and do stuff themselves, then that's maybe AI. So we're going to work on visual understanding. So we've launched computer vision. So it's already available in the 2019 live preview versions. Computer vision, the robot looks at the screen, interprets all the user interface elements. It understands that there are buttons, labels, text fields, text, etc., just like we do, right? And it's a machine learning model behind it that we've trained with 7,000, 8,000 images of user interfaces. So now a robot will be able to look at the user interface, and even if it changes, it's going to be easier for them to identify the elements. Document understanding, of course, unstructured data. We have our partners from Abby. You have FlexiCapture. But we're also working a lot on our own validation station and helping robots understand the documents. Process understanding is, again, for instance, we're partnered with Celonis, and the idea is, of course, a robot that understands what's happening. It's process discovery, process mining, being able to generate the skeleton of an automation. And finally, conversational understanding is, of course, NLP, text-to-speech, speech-to-text. We have some demos with Alexa, with Google Home. So these skills will be directly embedded into the robots. So it's going to be part of the UiPath package. And the idea is, we're calling it drag-and-drop AI. It's the same thing that you do today with UiPath. So you have the panel of 300+ activities, and you just drag and drop them to build your workflow. So you will be able to drag and drop activities that address the artificial intelligence part of automation. We're also going to integrate a machine learning platform in the orchestrator. So you're going to be able to deploy machine learning models in orchestrator, which then subsequently robots can call and use. And then around this, because you always have training and you always gather feedback and you always improve the machine learning algorithms, we're building a management, a deployment system to encapsulate all of this and make it easier for you guys. And the last part for artificial intelligence is the human in the loop. If you have robots that work 24/7 in a back office, that's fine, but then you also have to validate it. Maybe they've taken a PDF document and they didn't understand properly, or they need extra validation, then how do you do this interaction? So we're adding a lot of functionality where we have a validation station, we're going to orchestrate processes and manage this dialogue between the robots and the humans.
Yep. When it comes to scalability, we plan to deploy a massive scale orchestrator. So in that one, you will find things like bulk updates, integration with Azure Active Directory, and multi-database deployments. Next to the orchestrator, we have the robots, which are part of the RPA fabric. And we will try to make it dynamic by scaling up to 100,000 transactions and trying to keep the performance on a decent level. We will add more brain to our intelligent scheduling, and we will support central updates for the robots, so the platform will keep itself up to date. And of course, our licensing will come more and more flexible. We know that it is needed. We believe that RPA ops, it will become a critical area where RPA developers and IT ops will come together, hopefully in a right manner. And to facilitate that, we will simplify the package lifecycle. We will support semantic versioning, and we will enable robots to collect screenshots of process execution.
Trust. This is the boring slide because it talks about security, privacy, compliance, but it's actually important. So there's a lot of things. We're always improving the security behind the orchestrator, behind the robots. So we'll add identity access management, analytics, tracing things that happen and how they happen. Privacy, of course, GDPR is a huge issue. We're going to further isolate tenants, so you can have even completely separate databases for tenants. And of course, compliance with a lot of specific regulations and standards, which is important, and we're focusing on this.
In case that some of you didn't notice, this year we decided to change the release cadence. So we will have 2 enterprise releases, one coming in April, which will be the fast-track support release, and the other one in October, which will be the long-term support release. And of course, in between of this, there will be either monthly or bi-weekly sprints with minor updates like, I don't know, adding new activities or mobile apps. So you will be able to make the updates without any major disruption. And we did that because we got inputs from the market, from clients and partners, that this will fit better for them. Let's see how it will go.
I think it's... So right now, I think we've already launched 2019.3. So we're trying to launch a new preview version every month. This gives you the time to see these capabilities, these functionalities that we're adding, to test them out. But then we're only going to have 2 enterprise releases per year. Because, of course, to be able to upgrade the full environment is a bit difficult. So in the last long-term support release, which was 2018.4, is anyone using 2018.4?
Oh,
okay.
Shame.
Yeah, that's too bad because we have a lot of functionality. If you're not familiar, I do invite you to look at the release notes on our website because they're very comprehensive and you'll find all the new features coming in. So there's studio licensing through the orchestrator. There's native support for Citrix through the ICA protocol. So if you have a Citrix environment, then this release is for you. There's a lot of improvements in the studio. We've actually completely rewritten the studio in 2018.3, and now we've further improved it, especially the dark theme, which was something a lot of developers requested because white is bad for the eyes. Yeah. So look at the release notes. We have release notes for every version, and they go to great detail.
And this is a teaser for what will come this month. Most of them and many others are already in the preview, like Stefan mentioned. And if I have to choose, I will go for the Git support, for the scheduling improvement, and for the robot API.
So one feature is you're going to be able to connect to Orchestrator and then click on a specific robot and see their screen live, what they're doing. And then subsequently, robots will also be able to save the last 20 seconds of execution in the case of an error or an exception. So that's going to make debugging a lot easier. So closing thoughts, thank you for being here. Join the community, join the connect.uipath.com. Try 2018.4, and we're here to invest a lot in the product and into RPA. So the idea behind it is automation first.
So with that being said, thank you for your time.